In the sprawling Serengeti Reserve of Tanzania, where the sun paints the vast savanna golden and the wind whispers through tall grasses, two adult cheetahs share a rare companionship. The male is a magnificent creature, his body sculpted, with powerful muscles rippling under his spotted coat. Every step he takes is calculated, agile, full of strength and grace. Beside him moves the female, just as swift, her eyes sharp and watchful, always alert to the slightest movement in their surroundings. Together, they have chosen a solitary path, refusing to join the larger cheetah groups that roam these lands. Instead, they live by their own rules, sharing this endless grassland as their private domain. The mornings here are magical. As the first rays of sunlight stretch across the horizon, casting long shadows and setting the landscape ablaze with orange and gold, the two cheetahs rise from their resting spots. Their spotted fur seems to shimmer in the warm light, blending perfectly, with the dry grasses swaying gently around them. They begin their day not with haste, but with a purposeful calm. They move slowly at first, surveying the territory, the herds of antelope and deer that graze peacefully under the watchful eye of distant birds of prey. Hunting in the Serengeti is a delicate art, and these two cheetahs have mastered the dance of survival. Their approach is rhythmical, almost like a silent choreography perfected over countless hunts. The male will often take the role of the strategist, circling wide to drive the prey toward a narrow escape route. The female, swift and silent, waits patiently in ambush, ready to pounce and cut off any chance of escape. This teamwork is essential for their survival, and it is built on trust and shared instinct. One late morning, as the sun climbed higher, they spotted a young fawn grazing alone, separated from its herd. The male crouched low behind a bush, muscles tensing as he prepared to close in. The female took position ahead, hidden in tall reeds, eyes fixed on the fawn. The air was thick with tension, the silence broken only by the distant calls of other wildlife. Suddenly, the fawn lifted its head, sensing danger, and bolted towards a nearby lake that gleamed like a mirror in the sunlight. The female cheetah sprang after it, her powerful legs propelling her forward with breathtaking speed. The chase was fierce, heartbeats thundered in her ears, but the fawn was desperate, seeking refuge in the water. With a splash, it plunged into the lake, its small body disappearing beneath the surface. Without hesitation, the female followed, an instinctual decision that would soon put her life at risk. The lake was deeper and colder than expected. The female's paws churned frantically beneath the water, but the fawn was too far ahead. The chill of the water slowed her down, her breathing becoming heavy as she struggled to stay afloat. Panic crept in as water filled her nose and mouth with every breath. Fighting exhaustion, she turned, swimming back toward the shore, each stroke a desperate plea for survival. On the shore, the male cheetah roared loudly, a sound filled with urgency and fear. His companion was in trouble, and the wildness of the Serengeti seemed to hold its breath. At that moment, a safari vehicle carrying tourists came into view. Aaron, a seasoned conservationist with decades of experience, noticed the distress and immediately stopped the vehicle. Beside him, David, a biologist specializing in big cats, and Naomi, a young but skilled wildlife medic, jumped out and hurried toward the scene. The female cheetah lay motionless on the grass, water still dripping from her mouth. The male growled low, defensive, but not aggressive. Aaron gently approached, signaling the others to prepare. Naomi quickly grabbed a towel and medical supplies, while David kept a watchful eye on the surroundings. Time was precious. Every second could mean the difference between life and death. Naomi began carefully performing abdominal compressions, using a technique taught for wildlife rescue. Each press pushed water from the lungs, droplets escaping with tiny coughs. David steadied the female's body, ensuring she remained calm and still. The male cheetah paced nearby, eyes filled with worry but strangely calm, as if understanding the importance of this moment. Minutes passed like hours. The crowd watching in silence could hardly breathe. Suddenly, the female cheetah's chest rose, a weak breath escaping her. Relief washed over the rescuers. David prepared a recovery injection, a delicate mixture to help the cheetah regain consciousness and strength. The male growled softly but didn't interfere, watching protectively. The female's eyes fluttered open. Weak but alive, she looked around at the strangers who had saved her. The male leaned close, nuzzling her gently. A quiet exchange passed between them, a reassurance of survival and hope. Slowly she rose, still trembling, and glanced once, more at the rescuers with what seemed like gratitude. As the sun dipped low, bathing the Serengeti in fiery reds and golds, the two cheetahs disappeared back into the wild, free and alive, their bond stronger than ever.